Going live.
Oh, you can do it while we chat. Hello. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, how are you, Lori?
I'm doing well. I'm really hoping that we don't have audio issues like we had last week, but we're going to roll the dice and see. It was so nice to chat with people here last week. So I am grateful you came back for another chat.
You came back.
Yes, we're here.
Thank
So
goodness.
I'm kind of thinking that this week we could maybe shoot for like an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes. And then we can go from there. I don't even remember what I put in the title. I figured we were going to talk about our fountain pen day purchases because I know we each bought something. And today I thought we would open the show with something that we had talked about when we were doing this, that pre-recorded before we went live, which is to share a pen, a purse, and a planner, or a pen, a purse, and a pen case, or a notepad. I wanted to get the 3 Ps in there somehow.
3 Ps. Yeah, that's funny.
So last week you had a Chanel bag and I did Christian Dior. This week I went very casual. And I'm excited to see what you have. But let me see who's here for guests. We do have.
Okay. Is anybody here?
We do have about 8 people watching right now, but I haven't seen any. Let me just show here. Nope. Here we go.
Let me move this to the comments.
So I'm just going to say hi to everybody. Oh my gosh, do you see my sweater coming off? My dog is biting me. Hi, everyone. Oh, there we go. We have some friends. Lau's here and Lena. Hi, Marie. Thanks for being here.
Hello, Michigan.
Do you want to say hi to the people? Freshy boy, come on up.
Bring the lumpy in. Hello, Louisiana.
I'm a naughty boy. Hi from Louisiana. Hi, Malene. How are you?
Hello, UK.
And David's here.
Hello,
I'm fantastic. Well, I hope that this time works for everybody because this is a great time for Vanessa and I. It's kind of like it's before the witching hour for your dogs. Apparently, it is prime witching hour for Lumpy. Before like the day ends for our husbands and stuff. So this is great for me.
Right. And I just finished my work day about half an hour ago. So it actually works out great.
That's fantastic. And same here. We finished about 30 minutes ago. I still have a video that I need to post to Lori's Boston Found, but I'm going to work on that a little bit later. There's a light echo. Okay. Well, last time, thank you. Last time,
thank you, Eminem.
A pretty bad echo, and I feel like it subsided by the end. So I'm going to try to not talk too close and see. I hear Lori twice when she talks. It's me again. Okay, well, I'm going to be quiet then, and we are going to let Vanessa show us her pen, her purse, and her planner for the week, or notebook, or whatever she has.
My three
I both like bags, so we thought we would incorporate that into our lives.
Right. So that's hopefully people who are watching or who do end up watching don't mind that part to open up with that. But honestly, if you don't like it, I don't care. I'm sorry, but I like my purses. So it's like,
don't always have to be fancy. I have a plan. Like I'm sure in the future I'll do some really functional bags for people. Like when we're going around with our pens and stuff. Everybody needs a bag. I think it's very relevant to this crowd.
Definitely. Vanessa uses headphones. Yeah, this is if I put headphones in this computer, then you can't hear me. So I have to find something that works.
We struggled last week. We tried using headphones. I did, and it was awful. So Lau needs a big bag too.
Okay, so I too went a little more casual this week with my bag. It is the Hermes Evelyn.
That is gorgeous, and I do not consider Hermes casual, but it's a casual look.
This is a casual looking bag. Yes,
that is a gorgeous bag.
It goes perfectly with jeans and t-shirts and whatever. So I wouldn't dare carry this if I was wearing like a nice dress. So I consider this to be casual. Look, it's a very casual dress. So this is from 1997. So I would say it's considered vintage at this point. And it is made from, I'm going to add the little tidbits of history to it.
Please do.
It is made from Ardenas leather. It's a leather that Hermes does not use anymore, but I like it because it's not slouchy. so it stands up.
It has beautiful structure.
It does have great structure, and you see a lot of these bags, they use a different type of leather, and it's slouchy, and I don't like slouchy bags. So the planner I have, it's more like my journal, because I don't really journal. I jot notes in, but this is the one I always go to when I am jotting notes. This is the Goyard.
Gorgeous.
Notebook cover.
Let me just say, Vanessa is not messing around today. She brought her.
I don't.
Did you see what David said, Vanessa?
No. Any weapons? No.
You're going to have to go and watch last week's discussion to see what David's talking about.
I don't have any weapons in this bag, although I think a nice classic pair of brass knuckles would work.
I think it would really complement the Goyard planner.
I think so too. So inside, this is a Galen notebook. It's from their old Tomoe River, which I'm still working through it, but it's the best paper. And so like my journal always, I go wrong. It always consists of like ink swatches and just notes, and it's a mess compared to what other people, I see these other people who do planners online, and it's always so beautiful. And I'm like, I cannot keep a journal like that. I mean, it's just these very gorgeous layouts. I'm just like, wow, I get really jealous. Okay. And then for my pens, I have my pens in this case this week. And I got this from Galen Leather, but it's actually made by a Turkish company called Vav Leather, VAV. Beautiful. And I like it. It has that cool lock.
It's a great
kind of closure. It's great. And then so I open it up and I've got some pens in here. So I'm going to show y'all today, because I just unboxed it today. It's the new Pelican M600 Art.
That is not the one that I thought you bought.
I didn't buy this one. This one right now, I'm trying to get where the light hits it. There it goes. This one is actually on loan to me from Appleboom to review.
So gorgeous.
So yeah, I actually wouldn't mind keeping it, but it's like a $550 pen. This one is based on the poster designed by, what is his name?
They had it on Instagram.
Cambone. It's the last name is Cambone. He's an Italian designer. So, but yes, that's what I'm sporting today, and I've been writing with it all day long. So I just really like how the light reflects off of the surface. It's actually brass with a guilloche.
That is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Those are all my colors too.
I know. That's why I have green ink in it right now to match the green. So it's just really
beautiful combo. Nice. On the Appleboom Instagram, they had the artwork, and they were running a contest, right? If you had to write why you think you should win the print.
Yeah. Well, did they ever pick a winner? Because I wrote something on there. I just put, you should just send it to me. You don't even have to have a contest. You have my address. Send it over.
End of contest. We're good. And I wrote, if I win the print, it's very likely that I will buy the pen. So you should give the print to me. So
yeah. You should just.
I thought Yost might get a kick out of that.
Yeah. Yost gets a kick out of a lot of stuff I say to him.
That is such a beautiful pen. I was just listening to Gourmet Pens on our drive back from Pennsylvania, and I believe Aziza, is that her name?
Yeah, Aziza.
She was talking about that pen. I think she may have received one on loan from Appleboom as well.
Yeah.
But to see it is just beautiful. I love those colors.
Is. The pictures don't do it justice, because it's like in the pictures you can't really see how the light's reflecting off of the brass underneath the lacquer. Mm-hmm. And in person, it's just, you can look at it, real close up and see, the translucent of the colors, and it's done very nicely.
So Vanessa, what are your thoughts on the weight of the M600? Because I feel like I've hesitated to get the M600 because it feels so lightweight to me for what you're paying for the pen. But they're beautiful. I don't mind the size or the weight.
Well, this one I noticed has a little more weight on it, and that's because the barrel is brass. Because I took it out of the box, I was like, oh wow, this feels heavier than the usual M600. So It's actually, this one's a different weight, so it's not as light, but it's not uncomfortably heavy either. It's
Okay.
actually very comfortable.
You're really
But,
selling me on it now if it's weighty. I like that.
yeah, I mean, it's really, so I mean, if you're gonna go the M600 route, just so y'all could see or try to show y'all the details of this, this would be a good way to go that way.
That's great to know. I'm
Yeah.
glad I asked that question because that's definitely one of the
Yeah.
things I feel about the weight of everything. Okay, well, thank you. That was a lovely tour of your pen, your purse, and your planner.
So let's see what you got.
Hopefully Lumpy's not too loud. He's chewing a couple things around me, but he's not.
I
Hopefully
don't hear him at all.
Okay, so I am wanted to share with you today what I carried around with me when I was in Japan, and I wanted to be hands-free while I was all around. This is a very like slouchy bag. It is from Travelers Company. So I bought it at the Travelers Company store at the airport, at the Narita airport before we took off. And then carried it around with me in the airport because it was crossbody and it was super lightweight. And I tend to really weigh my bags down. So I wanted to find something that was lightweight. So there were a couple of different canvases. I was very tempted to get the black because Vanessa and I were just discussing how black is our color of choice.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to everybody who's just entering the chat. Hi, Claire, welcome. So anyways, I picked this up and it was really practical. It has a zip top closure here. So this was kind of my travel casual vibe for today. And then it also has this little snap closure here. So it has like a giant pocket. The only thing is things can really get lost in this bag. But I think what's really nice about this too is I think it's unisex. So I think it's great for travel and lightweight. So what I have in here for a pen, we're going really cozy and portable. I just have my Kaweco olive green pen. I tend to just pop my Kawecos on my traveler's notebook, my passport size when I travel. I just feel comfortable that I'm not going to lose it. I do love Kawecos. It's usually between this and the brass and the Bordeaux is one of my favorites. So I just think that this is great for travel. So I kind of went the whole little traveler's notebook.
I like the theme.
Size. And I've been carrying this around in my purse. This was my godchild's little baby who signed my notebook, Nevaeh. She just turned 2. But I typically just keep a little dated calendar in here and I'll jot things down when.
Look how nice and organized it looks.
I showed you the organized page. They don't. When you were talking about how some planners are so pretty, I'm one of those people who really wants an aesthetically beautiful planner, but as a practical matter, I have a lot more scribble. So I have several planners, and then I try to keep certain ones pretty and aesthetic and color coordinated. And then my morning pages that I journal in every day, I just have fun with that. And then I have a notebook just kind of dedicated to ink swatches and playing around. So this one is kind of okay. I mean, it's all right as far as decorations go. This little insert I got at the Starbucks Reserve store. They have a collaboration with Traveler's Notebooks, and there were a bunch of inserts that you could only get in Japan. So I went a little crazy and bought a lot of the Traveler's stuff from the Starbucks Reserve, but it was really fun. So this was just a little nod to my trip to Japan and just like some easy travel, a little easy travel combo for a bag, a pen, and a planner. So that's what I got for today.
I love it. The bag is really cool. I do love the color. If it's not black, it should be khaki.
Right, because then it goes with black.
Right, it goes with black.
There was an army green color that was really nice as well.
Oh, that's nice too. But I think that would be
as long as it goes with black, Vanessa, we're good.
That's true. As long as it, yeah. You know what would have been cool if they had one in red.
Absolutely. I don't know that they have red. Because all of everything's like a little muted because it's that like pigment dyed like cotton. Their stuff is so nice. I was really tempted. They had some superior labor bags at the store as well, but not not ones that I wanted. And I didn't get to the Superior Labor store in Japan. So that may be for another trip.
Yeah, I like the Superior Labor stuff too. I just ended up not, I don't use it as often as I want to, but they are very cute.
They're very well made. I recently bought like a little travel size, like top handle, all black. And it sits upstairs, and I'm basically using it as like a storage bag, and I line up all my
Oh, that's
traveler's
a good.
notebooks.
That's a great idea.
It's
That's
really
a
cute.
nice way to use it. Oh,
So there.
I
So
love.
if you have
They
one, you
have
can.
like a keychain version of that too. I think that would be really
So
fun.
adorable. Yeah, Bomb Kuchen, I think they have it there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so how was everybody's Fountain Day? Happy belated Fountain Day, Fountain Pen Day. I was sad on Sunday night. Actually, it was yesterday as I started to see all the sales go away. Like some lingered a little bit into Monday morning.
Right.
You could still use your code in a few spots, and then I was like having regrets. Like, should I have bought this with the sale? I was kind of I was beating myself up a little bit, but
Right.
say that I need nothing and have plenty.
I know it's hard to resist though, because you see these, especially that's where I ended up buying from Apple Boom, because there was 20% off, where you had other companies offering only maybe 10, maybe 15. He was offering 20% off of everything, like the whole store. It wasn't just select pens, like whole
Mont
pens.
Blanc. You could get 20% off Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
which
it.
never goes on sale.
Never.
Right. So I ended up buying a Pelican M600, the red white.
You need
I
that.
had to get it.
You had to get that.
I got it with a discount. It was like $330 or something.
I didn't think that was a bad price, because after we talked and I knew you were going for that, and then I looked and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is really pretty. It would be so pretty wrapped up under the tree for Christmas. I was thinking of all ways to. I did not get it because I just bought a Pelican. That is beautiful. What kind of ink did you get?
I didn't buy any ink. I'm not sure what ink I'll put in it, but I don't know. I always decide what ink to put in it, like once it's here and I unbox it.
Whatever inspires you.
Pretty much. I know some people get bothered that I don't plan stuff out, but I keep it kind of spontaneous, whatever I feel in the moment.
Plus, I also feel like I'm super predictable and matchy, but I feel like sometimes you surprise me with your color choices, and I love it. Like, you're not expecting a certain color, and then when you start your sample, I was like, that is so nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you gotta live on the edge.
You do. You're good at doing that.
As
Claire
the kids
Coco
say,
says,
YOLO.
this is a fabulous birthday month for me. I placed 5 orders with Yoast. Oh my gosh, Claire. I want to be a fly on the wall for Claire's collection.
You know what, Claire, that doesn't even surprise me. Girl, you always buy, like, she buys whatever she feels like, whatever
with passion.
she wants.
She's like,
yeah, she's all over it.
I love it. I met Claire for the first time at the Orlando Pen Show, and I remember walking in. They had like the evening before on Thursday night, if you had the all access weekend pass. And I walked in there, and it was my first pen event, and I was looking around, and I saw Brad. I started to see like familiar faces, people who I had seen on YouTube. And then Claire recognized me, and she just said hello, and she was so welcoming. And she made me feel so comfortable there at my first event. She was so sweet. And then we kind of hit it off, and I chatted with Claire and Peter all weekend. And then Claire took the wax seal class with Vanessa. So we were all in there together.
That was her second time taking that class.
That's right. Where did she take it the first time?
She took it in DC. And then she took it again a couple weeks later.
That is a compliment to you.
I was like, I'm so touched.
It was fun. And then, so Claire so why doesn't everybody, so Vanessa just shared with us that she got the Pelican M600 in the red for Fountain Pen Day. Why don't you all share in the comments your favorite thing that you picked up for Fountain Pen Day?
What did you end up getting?
I got a couple things. I will share. Did you get anything else?
No, that was it. Just,
I'm impressed. I swear it's because you get sent things that you are not as tempted because you get
That's,
to,
yeah.
yeah.
I get to see what I like, and then I show it to everybody else and they can see if they like it, and yeah, it kind of helps to not spend as much money.
So the thing that I was really on the fence about was another Scribo from Apple Boom, because that would have just been a really good price.
Yeah.
And I ended up not getting it because one of the things I've really wanted was the 30th anniversary Vanishing Point,
Mm.
the Taiwan exclusive in the matte green with the gold trim.
Mm-hmm.
I love Vanishing Points. This month, I should say, I'm trying to get to know my Lamy 2000, which I think the two pens get compared a lot. So
Yeah.
far, hands down, I like the Vanishing Point better, but I'm warming up to the Lamy 2000.
Yeah, I know what you mean about the Lamy 2000. I've had trouble warming up to mine. I have one and I've used it a few times, but it's so strange. Everybody is always raving about it
Raving.
and I'm like, I can't fall in love with it.
I'm really trying this month. In fact, so regardless of like what I have inked during the month, like my currently inked, which I also am not very strict about that, but I always have my Pilot Vanishing Point inked up with carbon black. And this month I said, okay, just put it away. You bought this Lamy 2000. I paid retail for it. So I really just wanted to warm up with it. So far, I still like the Vanishing Point, which leads me to my purchase. I was going to get the 30th anniversary Taiwan Vanishing Point in matte green. And there was only one retailer in the United States that I knew of who had it, and it was Yoseka Stationery. And then I spoke to my friend Lau, who is here in the chat. This is Lau right here. He has a YouTube channel as well, and we met through YouTube. I've watched a few of his videos. And you kind of bond with people who you have similar tastes with. Like, I mean,
Yes.
I said that about you, Vanessa, when you started. Whenever I would want to preview a video, you would often have a video for something that I was interested in. And the same happened with Lau, and he got the Vanishing Point and shared with me a company in Hong Kong called Muse Pens, Muze.
Oh yeah. Okay. I think I follow them on Instagram.
Okay. I had never heard of them before, and they were like $40 less expensive than anything in the States, which I think was just Yoseka. And I love Yoseka, and I have gotten 10% off coupons from them, and I love them so much. I actually felt a little guilty not getting it from them because I love Daisy. But it was $40 off. So I had to DM them through Instagram because they don't have a website up and running yet. And the owner messaged me right away, and Lau said, tell him I sent you. And so I did, and I was able to pick. He had fine, left, and medium, and I was really going back and forth between the two. I also tried to write with my Decimo all weekend because I have a fine nib on that, but I'm just a medium nib person on my Vanishing Point. I think for a lot more money than the regular Vanishing Point too, so I didn't want to get a nib that I didn't love. So I went with the medium, but you could pick the nib size and the number because it's a limited number. And then, while I was there, their promotion was buy one pen, get one 25% off. And they had an exclusive with Leonardo in Momento Magico. Am I saying that? It was beautiful, like green and pearlescent and some brown in there. It was really pretty. And it was 25% off. So then in Lau, I've been going back and forth chatting with Lau. Hi, friends. How are you? Welcome to the chat. So he messaged me and he said, we're down to 2 left of the Leonardos, and I had ordered a medium. So we have a broad and a fine. So you can have either of those, or I can do a custom grind for you. I can grind it down to a medium. I said, how about a medium cursive italic, and I'll pay you extra. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it for you. So
nice.
I'm so excited. He didn't even charge me. He was so kind, so responsive. And then they had a diamine ink that matched. It was like brown with like a green shimmer or green with brown undertones. It was some combination of brown and green that matched the pen. So it was a very like green fountain pen.
Yeah.
So I had
How
no
nice.
intention of getting that Leonardo, but it was 25% off. I got a custom grind with it. It's a store exclusive. He only had 2 left and then they're gone. And I really happen to love the swirls on it. So I went with that. And then I ordered some stuff from Atlas. I got the ink vent calendar. No
Oh,
Disney,
did you?
but but I have it from last year. And then I really enjoyed it. And I did watch a couple spoilers and I liked some of the color.
Oh no.
I know. Hi, Anita. Welcome to the chat, hun. Did anybody share what they got? I want to share.
They did. I've seen a couple. I'm seeing a couple here. Sherry got a the new Euphoria.
Mont Blanc curved Pelican 800 Scribo Magna Carta in Estabrook. Claire, you're
Dang,
amazing.
girl, you go.
Look
go,
at her
girl.
go. That is unbelievable. Troublemakers Inc. and Milky Ocean.
Milky Ocean. Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Me neither. I ordered my first Troublemaker ink this weekend as well. I've never owned one. The Montegrappa Batman.
Oh, nice.
Skyer and Buzz, are you the person who I had one question and they asked what ink went well with the Batman pen? Is this the question? Are you the person who asked me that question? We're going to have to come back to that. Remind me about that. Judy got the Visconti Mirage Mythos. That is so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Brown loves that pen. And I am tempted by it as well. I did get the Kaweco Olive Sport with the gold clip. I approve. I love that. Leonardo Momento Magico Pietra Salata. It's being ordered, so it won't come for 3 to 4 weeks. What color is that one? I don't think I'm familiar with that. I don't know all the names.
I hope you're a patient person, Linda.
3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks. Oh.
That is patience.
Yeah. Oh man.
We have some commentary on the Lamy 2002. He's going to get sold. LOL. I can't bring myself to like it. Is it a female male thing? I don't mean to put it in that category, but I feel like men love the Lamy 2000.
It's I
don't know. Vicky says, I have mint. Are you talking about the mint Kaweco? Maybe?
Maybe she's offering us a mint.
Oh, I could use a mint right now. I purchased the E95S for Fountain Pen Day, says Janice. Atlas also had 20% off store-wide. Yes, Atlas
that's right. They did.
Which was awesome. Plus, they had 15% off their inks. And then you could get, I think, 20% on top of that.
In addition to that?
Because, excuse me, I think you could. But they're still doing it 15% off. I did notice. They had some great deals on... what did they have? Excuse me. They had some great deals. I want to get through everybody. Twisby doesn't go on sale. Twisby, Esterbrook, and Sailor are all excluded from the Atlas.
Yeah, I wonder what it is.
It's called Gold Coast. I'm not sure where that one. Nita. Okay. I'm trying to go through here. Big step up. I love this. My husband does not know. Shh. Hopefully he's not watching. I do love that.
And you're busted.
Busted. Hola from Mexico. Hello. How are you?
Hola.
Hello all. Andy's here. Okay.
I'm
sorry. I'm so behind in the chat. Just starting out, so I did pick up one of the Atlas pen special with a medium nib. Congrats. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
It was the mint Kaweco. Daughter got the Sailor Hokoro. Oh, the dip pen. Oh, fun.
Oh, nice.
Dip pens are always fun. Okay, I just want to make sure I got to everybody. Andy says, Fountain Pen Day for me was my first Navalar Nautilus. Love. Oh, that is a really pretty pen.
Those are pretty nice.
Yeah. I hear you went down the rabbit hole quickly. It's easy. It's easy to do that. Well, thank you all for sharing your Fountain Pen Day purchases. It is a really fun day. And now we just count down to Black Friday.
Yeah. The next round of special will be Black Friday for sure. That's always the next one. And then I don't know if there's any other ones after that, really, that I can think of.
I think that's when you have to enjoy all your stuff, all your. Oh, I also bought, Atlas had a Conklin pen that they had. It was normally $75, marked to $30.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was like a purpley swirl with a black section. And I thought it looked really nice with the ink vent calendar. So I had to buy those together. $30. I don't own a
Sure.
Conklin pen. So I thought I would give it a try. Ooh, Cyber Monday, maybe.
Oh, Cyber Monday. So it's like, yeah, 4-day weekend of nothing but sales. So it's like save your money until, yeah, Fountain Pen Day and Black Friday. And then you just splurge.
Splurge. So I think I'm going to give my husband the vanishing point to give to me for Christmas.
Oh.
Unless I find something else. And then, yeah, I'll probably open the Leonardo right away. Or I'll have Jay get me a Scribo for Christmas because I feel like
Lena says we should put Fountain Pen Day in a different month. Yeah, I mean, it is very close to Black Friday.
I was thinking that same thing. Carrie wasn't thinking about that when he decided on the date, huh?
I have no idea what he was thinking when he decided the date. I don't know what's significant about November.
I don't know. Well, we should ask him that. I wonder if there is. I got a Pilot FP. Do you mean VP? FP? On Amazon, but I'm not happy with it. It's too small. I like maybe fine point, medium to large. Yeah, it's hard. I sometimes it depends on the pen for me. What kind of a nib I like on it.
Right. Yeah, I tend to go for more broad nibs. I like it to be a very juicy writer. I don't like, I can't do fine nibs. It feels like I have to write teeny tiny with fine nibs, but I like to write big and yeah.
I always wonder, does anybody like a dry writer? Like, is there anybody out there, or maybe they're just like I know people like a wet nib on a fine nib, as long as it's a wet writer. But I don't know anybody who maybe just teeny tiny writing people. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I mean, could you imagine if you write teeny tiny little words and you've got this super wet broad? I mean, I could imagine.
It would just go all over the page.
Yeah,
like for me, sometimes when I'm writing in my Hobonichi weeks, that's a smaller space. I will purposely pull out like my E95S, which does have a fine nib, but I feel like it's still a good writer. And it's
such a classy pen.
It's so cute, isn't it?
It has like a very vintage vibe to it.
It is. And I think this is one of the best ways to get into like a 14 karat gold nib as well.
I agree. That it seems like all the Japanese makers, their 14 karat gold nibs are always so priced really good. So I don't know if...
And they do it so well too.
They do. I mean, they usually have a nice... they write really nice out of the box. So let me check my light here. It's kind of...
Oh, there you go.
I'm just looking kind of pale. Well, paler than usual.
I'm like, yeah, I have all the lights on. As I always say, it's all smoke and mirrors for me. I think I just look orange right now.
You don't. You don't.
Claire says she's a broad girl as well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. We have a comment. Dry writers are helpful for wet inks, I would imagine. True.
That's true.
That's true. It kind of like balances it out. Because because you can't do two of the same. I remember when I first got into my very first 14 karat gold nib was this guy that I ordered on Amazon, the Sailor. And I put Ferris wheel press stroke of midnight in here. And it was like cement. And I was so distraught. There were so many sparkles in there. And this is a medium nib. It was the worst combo ever. But what I have in here now that I really love, and this segues into the next thing I want to talk about, is I have 3 Kings in here, which was from last year's Diamine ink vent calendar. And Vanessa is doing something fun with the 2022 ink vent in anticipation for 2023. So do you want to share with us what you're doing?
Sure. I mean, I have the newest advent calendar. It sits right here next to my desk, so I see it every day. And as you can imagine, the temptation to want to bust every single little window open, it's very strong. So in order, I mean, it's like, yeah, I just
bust it open with your brass knuckles.
That or my knife. I didn't show you. David, if you're still here.
Oh boy. What do we have now? Is this the comb?
This is not the comb. This is my knife.
I'm starting to question my decision with Vanessa.
It also can break glass if necessary. And you could also clip it inside of your pen case holder if you'd like.
That terrifies me. I wouldn't trust myself with it. Wow.
It was a gift from.
It retracts really quickly.
It's spring loaded. It was a gift from my husband.
Oh, that's very romantic.
I bought some. Yes. Yeah, that is a knife.
It is.
That's the Crocodile Dundee reference. That's not a knife. This is a knife. You remember that?
I don't.
That might be too. Yeah, that.
No, I'm older than you.
That's true. Well, Crocodile Dundee is pretty damn funny.
Crocodile Dundee. It's been a while since I've watched that.
It has been a while. So, okay. So in order to curb me getting that knife and busting out every little bottle of ink out of that infant calendar, what I've done is, so here's my inks for last year's. I keep them in this little container. It's a Toyo steel.
I wanted to know what size that was because it is the absolute perfect size.
It is. And it's perfect because, I mean, so here's all the bottles from last year. So I have a thing of washi tape in there so I can mark the ones that I've done so I don't do any repeats. But when
it's all 25 ink bottles, well, maybe except for the tall one.
Yeah, the tall one, it fits in there, but I'm saving that one for last. But I have it right there and I can shut it in. So what I've been doing every morning.
One of those boxes, they're or a couple.
They're really nice.
Those were also on sale with Atlas, and so I just
were they?
Size to get.
Yeah, they're. I mean, any size. They're. You know, you can find a use for them. I mean, I've got a few sizes of them. But so what I've been doing every morning, and what I'm gonna keep doing is I just pick random ink, just random. So I keep the surprise there. You know, like
so you're not going in order. You're just grabbing a random.
I'm not going in order. I'm keeping it as a major surprise. So I just kind of randomly and I post the video every morning after I do it. I edit the video while I'm on the treadmill and I post it. And that way, you know, it's a surprise every morning. So I've had to bump it up to 2 inks a day because I'm leaving town next week for a week. So I have to kind of, you know, keep that going.
Exciting. I have really enjoyed it because I feel like I was more critical of the colors, and let me know in the comments if you guys can relate to this, but I felt like last year I was more critical of the colors because I had Christmas on my brain. So if I opened a color and it didn't make me feel holiday Christmas vibes, I didn't like it.
You know what? I can relate to that because I would open up some of these inks last year and I was a bit disappointed with some. I was like, really?
That's not festive.
You know, that's what I was expecting, you know, festive, very holiday like inks. And some of them, like the one I did today, or one of them that I did today was Pick Me Up, which is the coffee scented one.
Which is awesome.
And it actually isn't, I think it's a kind of, you know, it's a nice, unique ink. But I remember when I opened it up last year, I was like, really?
100%. That is actually the color I was going to use as an example because I loved Yule Log because I loved the sparkle in there and I love brown ink. But that Pick Me Up just looked almost like black brown. It looked, I don't know, maybe in like the small writing sample, but then when you swatch it, you see the green under.
Right. And it has like a green sheen to it. It's very cool.
And it smells kind of cool. And I feel like seeing the colors after the holidays, I could almost appreciate them more. So when I do videos in the morning, it's been really nice because there's Pick Me Up and it's scented.
It is scented. It smells like bad coffee.
Bad coffee. Like coffee that's been sitting on the pot for hours and burnt.
For a year.
Is it Liza Lab? I'm curious if you guys are done with Inkvent. Do you barter, sell it? Oh, when you're done. Do you barter, sell it, or keep it?
I keep mine. You never know when you might need it.
I think if you guys get to know Vanessa and I'm just getting to know Vanessa still, but I think neither one of us are particularly great about letting go of stuff. Ink
Mm.
stuff, ink and pen related.
Yeah, I mean, I've given away some pens. Like, I had a huge collection of Conklin pens. I used to do an ambassador thing with them, so I ended
Mm.
up with a lot of Conklin and Monteverde pens, and um, I figured if I hadn't touched them for a year or more, then it's probably time for them to find a new
Yeah.
home. So I started giving some of those away.
I've
And
given a couple away, and I feel like I probably should start selling stuff so my collection doesn't get out of hand, but I'm not like a
yeah,
one in, one out kind of person.
right. That's what I've parted a year ago. I parted with some of the collection because it was getting kind of out of control.
Yeah, and
Okay.
if you're not using it, it's like anything else. Like I'm doing a huge purge on my other channel, my thrift channel, where I'm getting rid of inventory. I'm cleaning a corner of my house every week and a corner of my business. And so instead of thrifting on Fridays, I'm decluttering because I was just in this mode where I was always consuming and bringing stuff in the house. And I feel like I've been really good with my business and I've shifted all of my hoarder tendencies to pens.
At least it's a smaller. You can put it in a
Yes.
folio.
Yes.
It
They
doesn't take
don't
up as
take up
much
as much
space.
space
That's
as
right.
other stuff.
That's
Um,
right.
but I do need to tone it down. Um, I used Pick Me Up with Pumpkins in my journal for
Oh,
October. Oh, yes.
that's a
It's a great
great
fall color.
idea. Yeah, it is a great fall color.
Vanessa,
I
she doesn't count.
I really don't count them, but I would easily over 200.
Hmm. For
Yeah,
those of you who don't know, Vanessa's been in the pen world for how many years?
since about 2016 ish.
Yes. And
So
this is also why I find it really interesting to chat with Vanessa because she has been in this world for a while. And I just got into pens like August or September of last
like
year.
last month,
Like
last
last
month she picked up her first pen.
now I have 600. No, I'm joking.
Last week.
I have around 50, I would say. And I'm getting
Wow, that's actually a lot for a year's time.
for a year. I would agree. And
Ah,
now I'm
I
like,
bet
well,
it, yeah.
should I count Kavecos? Do Kavecos count? But they do.
Yes. Does it
This
have a
is
nib?
my little thing that I got at
Oh,
Muji.
that's so cool.
And then I got the little pen industry slots that you can pre-cut on your own and create. You buy them in sheets, these little gray things, and
Oh,
then you
that's
can
brilliant.
cut them to whatever drawer you're using. So I think I fit about 13 in a row, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times
Oh
13.
goodness. I like that it's translucent. You could see your collection.
I like it a lot.
That's
And
very
then like
nice.
I'll kind of put like whatever collection I'm feeling on top. Like it looks like I have a few Esterbrooks on top and some of my Leonardos on top right now. And then I usually put in my bottom shelf like ones that I'm ready to part with or like lower end or whatever. Like I'm thinking
Mhm.
about selling my Diplomat Arrow because it's really beautiful, but my hand slides around on it terribly. I have like really dry hands and I
Uh-huh.
love everything about this pen, but I never reach for it. And then I bought a Twisby secondhand that's kind of leaky and don't love it. So some of these here, not all of them. Or I put like my $5 gin house here.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I should probably keep my collection to this. Like anything, once I start filling over from this, then maybe I need to consider. But
You
I,
know, you're
I'm
gonna say that. You're gonna say that now, but you're gonna be like, I need to buy another clear box to keep the rest of my collection, and then it's gonna be like 3 and 4. Then you're gonna buy a shelf.
it does. I mean, right now I have like my November pens in this case, which I think holds like 10 or 12.
Uh-huh.
Like, well, maybe I can use the box and my currently inked. So I'm already starting to justify. But for me, and I think Vanessa too, it's not quite about a number. It's more about if they bring us joy, if we're using them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think so. I didn't give a
Oh,
proper introduction. Why don't we Vanessa does have a YouTube channel.
I have a YouTube, but I do more on my Instagram. My YouTube is mostly reserved for pen reviews, which I've gotten really lazy about it because I have to sit here and talk to myself, I guess. um, so I've done pen reviews since I guess about 2019.
You have such a
And
catalog of pens though. Like you may feel like you're being lazy because maybe you're not doing a lot of your current pens, but I feel like you
yeah,
have so many great videos and you just like take a look at it. You just kind of show it. You give us I love it. They're quick, they're fun.
yeah, I'm not gonna weigh the pen and give you the exact grams. I can't do it. I've had people ask me, they're like, how much does it weigh? I was like, I don't know. I mean, if it's comfortable, I keep it. You know, it's just that's how I do things. But I'm not very technical with all that. But a lot of my stuff goes on my Instagram account. I have to say that's where I put a lot of content, like lots of. I'm a very visual person, so a lot of photographs, a reel. Usually, it goes like this: it's a reel, photographs that go with the reel, and then I take the reel and I cut it apart and put it in my stories. So yeah, I just do
You
all
are
kinds of
so
stuff.
active on Instagram. It's wonderful. Like there's always something fun and new to see on
Well,
Instagram.
thank
And for
you.
those of you who might not know, Vanessa is the pen gangsta on Instagram
Yes,
and on um let's put it in here.
YouTube. So
YouTube. I'm
it's a
gonna
sticker.
just call up your YouTube channel. I will leave a link for it.
Okay. My Instagram, it's really simple. It's just at Vanessa underscore Langton, my last name, LANGTON. It's very simple. That's been my username since the beginning, since I started using Instagram back in like 2012, 2011, something like that. It was like it was a baby back then. So, but yeah, that's it. But yes.
So and I put in her I'm hearing a little feedback on me. I'm trying
Look
to
at your cute little photo with your hat. You're like, hey.
Oh, I'm just laughing because she says now I'm getting feedback. Hold on.
Or you're getting feedback?
I wonder if it's because I opened YouTube. It seems like I screwed something up.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, that's okay. Somebody said, okay, this comment. Hold on. I think a certain quantity is essential. There are so many variations in this hobby to have only a few pens would be missing out. Oh, you mean like a certain quantity, like you need a certain number. You're in good company. I agree with that.
Yeah, no, she's not. Definitely not being a minimalist. More is more. So yeah,
I've been thinking about doing a video about like different categories, which I've seen done before, but I've wondered myself, like, what is my favorite pocket pen? What is my favorite travel pen?
That's a great idea.
Like just kind of different categories because you do, depending on your mood or the occasion or what you're writing on or writing about or writing, like I reach for different pens. And I think that's why so many of us stay in it because it's always something new. And you can have one pen or you can have 5 pens with 10 inks, and then you have all this variety of different combinations
nibs
you can use.
Yeah, everything. So, I love that.
Quantity is quality. That's funny. I love going shopping in my collection.
It's like shop your closet. Definitely.
Yeah, it is fun. And I am trying to find some value in doing like, I think I'm calling it November's pen case instead of currently inked.
Yeah.
But I do think it's fun to focus on some for a month and like be intentional about the inks that I want to pair with certain pens and then give it some time. I don't know if it's because I'm in this acquisition phase of my collection. I feel like at some point I'll chill a little bit. But I do tend to
You will.
Oh, this is my mom. There's been an echo since I got on at 4:15, but not as
Oh
bad as the
man.
other night. All right, Mom, thank
Well,
you.
that's good. That's good. Here's an interesting question from Natalia. Natalia, I'm going to butcher your name. I'm not even going to attempt it. Are they
Paolo,
worth it?
Karina?
I think so. I like the Leonardo. Excuse me, I have the allergies. I think Leonardo pens are very nice. I think they're very, they come in so many different finishes over the years. Like here, I've got one I've been using on and off for a couple of years. This was a Stilo style exclusive. I think this was from last Black Friday from last year. And so like Leonardo's coming. This one's a matte finish. It's very cool. I've never had a problem with the Leonardo before.
Same. In fact, I know they're expensive, but I think relatively speaking, they're not bad.
No, not at all.
My
I
mic
think
is really
they're a nice company. They also have a new brand that they're. Oh, did she disappear? Is it just my show now? Are you all still there? Oh,
I just went out and
oh, you didn't see what I just did you?
I saw your little jig.
It's my show now.
Done. We need a theme song. I love Leonardo's. This was the first Leonardo I ever got. This is a Fiore Grande in blue Hawaii. Jay bought me this at Apple Boom.
Oh, how nice.
And it's really pretty. And this is a Momento Zero Grande in the primary manipulation and the matte.
Is that the matte? Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, this is a matte. And it took me a while to warm up to this because I felt like it was like the swirls didn't match, like the body didn't match. But I love this because it has a wink indo, an ink window. And the Momento Magico that I just ordered from Muse Pens also has an ink window.
You mean you don't like to guess how much is in there? You don't like to guess how much ink you have left?
I guess I
love
don't
playing
know.
that game.
You like to play that game? I feel like the further along I get, the more I want an ink window. This is a smaller one. If you want to compare, this is the Momento Zero Grande. And then a regular, this was a Drum Ghouls exclusive.
That's beautiful. That color is really pretty.
This was at the Orlando Pen Show. That's where I got this.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say this one also has the diamond cast.
It looks like it.
In the cap. So I'm a big fan of Leonardo.
Yes. Wink window.
Wink window, yes. You are correct. They are Yovo nibs.
Yeah, that's what that's the one gripe I do have about a lot of these pens is like you have all kinds of different pens, but it's the same nib. Mm-hmm. It's all Yovo nibs. Like, okay, so Leonardo this is a brand, maybe y'all haven't heard of it yet. It's Radius. It's actually a revived brand. Okay. This was the Stilo style pen exclusive for Fountain Pen Day. So this is...
Oh, you featured this on Friday.
Yeah. So this is actually made by Leonardo. Leonardo owns Radius. So as you can see, I could see a lot of similarities between this and Leonardo. But the ring cap is actually it's a Radius style, apparently. So yeah, I didn't know a whole lot about it, but knowing that Leonardo makes it, there's the nib on it.
Look at the blue nib. That's really cool.
Yeah. So this is, it's a Yovo nib, but it writes really nice. So that's what I always recommend to people, because these pens are all going to come with a Yovo nib. Get a broad and then have it ground to something special. That way you can put some variation in your collection. So that's something I enjoy doing. But yeah,
I think that's great advice. So if you have a broad nib, and you send it to a nibmeister to have a custom grind, they have more to play with. So you can really do anything from there, as opposed to getting something smaller. Am I right in that assumption, Vanessa?
Oh yeah. I mean, you can get you don't have to necessarily get it smaller, but you can get like a broad has a lot of tipping on it, so they can do more with it. You know, they can make it a nice smooth italic or an architect nib. It's like I had a sailor zoom nib that I had converted into an architect, so it's like a nice big architect. It's awesome.
Pretty.
So you could do fun stuff like that. So that's, yeah.
I think that's why I was so torn on my Muse order, because I really wanted to get a fine nib because I already had a medium. So two pilot vanishing points. Why am I going to get 2 medium nibs? Because you don't really have a lot of room to work with that nib. That's tiny.
No,
and it's
I mean,
a
it
whole
could be
unit.
like smoothed out.
That's really not a nib I would have a Nibmeister touch, you know?
No.
So I felt a little guilty getting another medium because in my head, I think, well, if I'm going to invest in another pen, I should at least get something unique with the nib. Like, and even with Esterbrook, I try to get a variety of sizes, or I'll get like one of their, like I got Gina's journaler's nib on my Nouveau blue, just for something different. Cause they are all the same Nouveau nibs. So it's also something to think about if you're worried about a price point. Like you can probably get a less expensive pen with the same nib. It just depends on what is important to you. If you like a lot of color and variety, or if you're really focused on just the nib, there are definitely some really inexpensive ways to get into the hobby and really enjoy yourself.
Definitely.
Claire says, I took Vanessa's advice at the show and did that with the broad with Kirk. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. Oh, nice.
You're welcome.
Kirk Spear is one of the Nibmeisters that we all worked with down in Florida. Oh, Fountain Pendulum's here. Hello. I wish I had I should go get it. I have a beautiful pen rest that they sent me. I did the same with my Sailor Zoom nib. Had it made into a hybrid architect with reversed.
Oh, nice. That's nice. I think Kirk does a similar grind. I've got one like that. It's like a reverse architect. So you write within, it's fine. It's fine on a normal side, but then you can turn the pen over and it's an architect. So you have 2 nib grinds in one. So it's very, very functional. Yeah.
That is
very
so
cool.
Yeah. I should run upstairs and get my pen rest. For those of There's Lumpy. Lumpy says hello. If you guys want to follow Fountain Pendulum on Instagram, they make these beautiful wooden pen rests, and you also make little slots for ink samples so they don't fall over. So you can have like your pen rest and then a couple samples. I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to run upstairs and grab my thing. So it's going to be Vanessa's show again.
Can you carry your computer with you as you go do this? Are you able to do that?
I can. Yeah, my lighting.
It's funny to see you running through the house with like, hold on, guys.
You want to take
I'm over there. Sure.
We'll take a tour. We'll go upstairs. So I usually film downstairs because that's where I film all my videos for Lori's Boston Found. We're taking a tour. But I actually have converted my son Anthony's room into my pen room.
Nice.
It's a little mess right now. So we still have like the orangutan that was Anthony's. And like over here, I don't run. That's all my son. But this is where I have, where is it? Hold on. My lighting's not going to be as good up here. Oh, here it is.
That's funny. So as soon as the kids move out, you take over one of their rooms and you turn it into your room.
That's right. That's what I say. And actually, now they're all planning to come home for Thanksgiving. I'm like, well, I don't know where the hell you're going to sleep, Anthony.
Right. You better go get yourself a hotel room.
Okay, so this is what I got from Fountain Pendulum. Isn't this so pretty?
Oh, what kind of wood is that? That's really nice.
Beautiful velvet on the bottom. And I love this because, okay, so here is my iced caramel latte in a Euphoria, which is a big pen. And I still have this much space. So you know why I love this? Because when I was in Japan, I got my Kakamori nib and I never bought the rest for it. And this fits it. It's not.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's really nice. You can get different wood finishes. And my feedback is worse up here.
All right. Fountain Pendulum, we will be sending you a bill for that promo. So you can, we will expect that check in the mail.
Yes, but I've been thinking about maybe getting one so it looks like this, and then in the there's like another strip here, but you can put your sample bottles. You
That
should
would
make
be
one for
really
the ink pen
cool.
calendar. Wouldn't that be great to have like a little
Oh
spot for the
yeah,
ink
to
pen
line them up. Oh, that'd be
bottle?
so cool. Oh, that would be fun.
I love the Waverly nib grind. I had that done by Kirk on my Esterbrook
That's what I
light.
need to get that grind. I don't have a Waverly grind yet.
It's pretty. I
So
like it a
yeah,
lot. She said, haha, thanks. You're gonna send her
you're
a
welcome.
uh pen room, amazing. Kind of. I bought my new desk on Craigslist and I drove 30 minutes to a place where I always go thrifting. So I made it like a thrift day and I picked up the desk. And I think this was like
Oh,
yesterday
nice.
or something. I don't know. It's just a wooden
Oh,
desk.
yeah.
When I shoot my videos, I like to have wood here, like instead of like because I have an IKEA desk downstairs, but it's white and it gets reflective when you have the light on top of it.
Hmm.
And I just wanted a warmer feel. So
Yeah, that's nice. That's
yeah,
really nice. I always go for the faux marble look because I
well,
have
that's
this.
pretty too.
It's actually I use this a lot for that. I found it at TJ Maxx. It's actually it's a like a TV tray type of
Oh my
situation.
gosh. So clever.
Yeah. I got it for like 14 bucks. It's like, ooh, that would be a nice background for my pen videos.
It's so nice to find something that's affordable, but then it's like so incredibly practical as well, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like struggling a little bit up here, but we're good.
Are you okay?
What
Do
else
you
do
need
we
to go
want
back?
to talk about?
You need to go back downstairs or anything?
No, I think I'm okay. Lumpy followed
Okay.
me up and he's sleeping here by
Of
my
course.
feet, so I'm
Aw.
gonna go with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So
so what else, Vanessa? What else do we want to talk about? Does anybody have any questions? We're at 1 hour now.
yeah, we're at 1 hour. So the last time we did like over 2 hours. So we could keep going all night long. You know?
I have a question. Do you have so I got this in Florida too, and
Uh-huh.
this is the Mont Blanc 149, and I really, really do like it, but it's in an extra fine. And I found another one that is secondhand, and I have a credit on the website. So out of pocket, it would be about 100.
Okay.
But new, these are ridiculous, right?
Yeah, they're
Um,
very pricey.
it was made in West Germany instead of Germany, which I think dates it between like 1970 and 1985, I want to say. And it has the ebonite heat, which this one also has. I think this is from the early 90s, but the nib
Mhm.
looks much chunkier. And I think for that price, would it be fun to get a second one? Because I don't know if I want to mess with these nibs. I guess my question is, has anybody ever had a Mont Blanc nib worked on by a nibmeister in the chat? Somebody in one of my videos commented that they would not mess with a vintage Mont Blanc nib.
I mean, I guess it depends on how good the vintage Mont Blanc writes. Like if it's a bad writer, then yeah, why not get it ground up? I mean, the warranty is probably expired by then, right? I mean,
Yeah, I don't think I would have any warranty. It's not a bad writer though. It's actually really nice, and I very much surprised myself that I chose an extra fine, and I really do like it. But
yeah.
it's just me being excessive. Like, I really don't need a second one, but I think it would be cool because it's a different nib. It's from a different era. It has a different ink window. It has different stamping on it, and I think for a brand
I
like
think it
Mont
would be
Blanc,
kind
that's
of
pretty
cool. I
cool.
mean, it's kind of historical, you know. It's definitely I like vintage stuff. So to me, that's I like modern stuff too, but something like that, I think that would be cool to have a nice vintage pen like that with a different kind of nib and like it would be like getting an old Pelican from the 1960s or something. That would be pretty cool.
There was a Pelican M800 that came up on my ride home from Pennsylvania yesterday, and as I looked at it, somebody had put it in their cart, so it said it was on hold, and it sold like that. They listed it for $245, and the nib I didn't even recognize. It was one tone. It was a really old nib. I don't know Pelicans very well, but it was a
Does it
transparent.
just have the little circle with the pelican in the center?
I should call it. I should try to find the site and share it. But it was I have a 1985 Mont Blanc and love it. Ooh, okay. Ready?
Oh,
What's holding me back on that is should I get a 146 because it's not as fat as the 149. Like,
I had a 146, with a medium nib on it, and it was from the 90s.
Okay.
I ended up selling it because it was if you like a slimmer pen,
I don't.
sure. If you enjoy the chunkiness of the 149, I would stick to 149. The 146 feels more like a regular size Esterbrook. I guess
Okay.
that would be the.
Which
So
isn't
yeah,
like small, but
no. But if you enjoy the chunkiness of the 149, then yeah, you might not enjoy it because you'll constantly compare that to your 149. You're like, it's not the same. I'm gonna sell it,
yeah.
and
Well, that's
so
what
yeah,
I'm worried about, and I feel like I should at least maybe, like, write with one at a pen show like this I absolutely love.
definitely.
And I believe it was Claire who bought one like this, and then she was going to have some work done on it, of course.
Like adding, like
I
setting
think
it off the
Rodden,
Bocamundo kind of thing. Oh, yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure if she's still in the chat. And then Inks and Anchors
Uh-huh.
from, the podcast there, can't think of Gourmet Pens. He sent one of her pens out. I don't know if it was a Mont Blanc, but she had her dogs, like somebody painted.
Oh, I saw
You
that.
see that on Instagram?
Yes,
And
it's
I
very
fell in love with
cool.
that. So I thought maybe if I got a second one, I could have something special done with it down the road, like not now, but
Sure. Or you can send it over here, and I'll get my gel nail polish out, and I will go to town on that thing.
you did such a good job with yours. I would trust you with it. Can you do Lumpy and Lucky and Lulu? That would be great.
Maybe, maybe I
Okay,
could.
well, that was helpful. I feel like I was trying to talk we were talking about something else, and then I went in a different direction. Mont Blanc. So that was helpful. Thank you for that. Kirk's Nib Grinds.
Oh, that's good. That show would just happen. That's good.
Yes. How was the Ohio Pen Show? Is that like the last of the season? Does that like kind of close out the pen shows? Well, no,
Well,
you have one. You're
for the
going to.
United States, I think so.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's one not this weekend, but the next weekend is is in Istanbul. It is. I still have the brochure, of course.
So Vanessa was invited to this pen
Pen
fest
Fest
in Turkey.
in Turkey. So that's not this weekend, but the next weekend, and so that'll be happening. That's going to be a lot of fun.
That is going to be so much fun. It all looks like things are a go still.
Yes, so far so good. So I'm hoping that I can survive the plane ride because it's like 12 hours.
Is it direct?
Yes.
That's good. You'll be
Yes. So yeah, 12 hours of I'll just sit there and play with my pens.
right. It passes the time for all of us.
That's what I'll do. So
What's this one? I passed away 2 years ago. I'm sorry. He was a pen collector. Fountain pen, a Parker Sterling Silver Chisel.
oh, I have I think it's a Cisele, Cisele, something like that. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic pen. Very nice.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm sure you treasure that for sure.
Yeah. What a nice memento, of somebody. That's nice. So every time you pick it up and write with it makes you think of your dad. It's very cool.
I think that's something about pens that is very different for me than, say, handbags. Because, like, for those who may have jumped in later in the show, my feedback's really bad now. Vanessa and I went over like a handbag and a pen and a planner or a notebook because we both like handbags. But I feel so different about pens than I do from handbags because I feel like I use my pens more than I do handbags. There's just a personal connection to them.
There is. It's so strange how how that is, being connected to a pen. But actually knowing that, I have an old Parker from my grandmother, and it's funny to like I look at it and I'm like, she wrote down her thoughts with this, or maybe she didn't. Maybe she just made a grocery list with it. I don't know. But still, it's kind of cool to think that, before I was even a glimmer in my daddy's eye, she was writing with this, and he was probably a little boy, and I just think that's very cool to have something like that.
And those are the things that make me feel like the quantity of what we kind of modern day have with stuff takes away from the specialness, because your grandmother probably didn't have 100 pens. Like that one
No,
pen is probably very special to her.
right. Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like for me personally, because I dive so hard into things that I'm passionate about and collections and stuff, that I don't really give
Oh,
myself time to
same.
have like a special pen or a special purse. Like there are a few things that through the years I've used over and over that I think my kids would associate with me, but generally speaking, I think they're like, "Oh, mom bought another pen." Like it's not really special, you know?
Right.
But it is special to me. But yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
find that balance. There's something about the process of writing. I totally agree. Yep, it's precious to me. I
Yeah.
know. It's hard to explain to someone, and even me, I say all the time, I wasn't really a writer before I started with fountain pens, and then that kind of led me to journaling more, and then the pens just
Yeah.
keep me in it and having so much fun with it.
Yeah. There's just a, yeah, it's a mental connection, I think between your brain and your fingertips.
Hmm,
So, when you have something that's going on in here, you can kind of communicate that through pen and ink, regardless if it's a doodle or a thought, or, if you are jotting down a grocery list or whatever. But,
yeah.
it's an experience, to have it's an analog experience, I guess.
Which I think is
So,
another reason we crave it so much in the digital age, because it's just
yeah.
something tactile and, um, it you know, you I mean, while I oftentimes listen to YouTube videos in the background sometimes while I'm writing or doodling or journaling, I'm not, like, actively watching it, like, your eyes are off the screens and you're writing, which is really nice, and in addition to that, I used to sell Creative Memories scrapbooks for years, for, like, a decade when I was a young mom. And I
Hmm.
used to do shows. It was like, you'd recruit people. It was like Amway and Tupperware and that
Oh,
sort of
okay.
thing. So I would do home parties. But one of the things we really focused on was the importance of not just including a photograph, but including like writing with it. So all the scrapbooks you could like write in the notebook. And we used to sell Micron pens. And
Okay. Hmm.
they later rebranded them under Creative Memories, but for, like, probably the first 4 years in business, and I did it, like, 99 to probably I mean, on and off for 10 years. I was technically a consultant, active at different times. But that's where I started using the Micron pen, and because they were archival safe and the paper
Hmm.
was archival. And one of the things we used to always say is if you just put a photo in a photo album, a picture is great, but to have like some commentary next to it or somebody's handwriting makes it that much more special.
That
And
makes sense.
yeah, and then we said, if there was a pile of note cards in the center of the table, and there was a letter written from your mother, grandmother, somebody significant in your life,
Hmm.
be able to identify it just based on the handwriting. And most people say
Yeah.
yes. And so that's just how it like is attached to a person makes it really special. And handwriting is so special. So write as
Yeah,
much.
it really is.
I know I have so many albums. In fact, I actually grabbed some of the paper to use in my traveler's notebooks, because that's where I do, I haven't really dug in too much, but that's where I'm doing my memory keeping. And so, yeah,
Good
I have
idea.
paper from there. This year of writing has helped me in so many ways. Aw, thank you, Claire. Pen friends are really nice. It's been great.
It's a great community. I think that's why I stuck around for so long. It's like, I haven't got bored of everyone yet. So,
There's always something fun to look forward to, and it's a pretty, there's not much to complain about with pens and inks and paper. It's just kind of fun, I feel like it's a pretty
it is
positive group.
fun. Yeah, I have found everybody in the pen community. I mean, there's been one or two bad apples, but for the most part, everyone is super kind. Very, very cool, very nice to hang out with, and I have found that to be very enjoyable.
And very willing to help and share.
Oh yeah, definitely.
which is so nice because I've learned so much from other pen people. Um, all right. Well, I
Oh.
think what
Okay, so I saw that earlier. So yes, my grandmother had a collection of dried out balloons. I was like, well, that's interesting. I didn't say anything about it, but I saw that. I was like, hmm. And then
oh,
yeah,
dried out ballpoint
ballpoint
pens.
pens. So I was like,
That's so
okay.
funny. Oh, well, they must have been special to her. She had a collection.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, there's another I don't have it over here, but there's a ballpoint pen that my grandmother gave to me when she visited London, like back in the mid 80s, and she bought a Parker ballpoint pen from Parliament. I have that
Oh,
in its
wow.
original packaging. So yeah, I don't completely hate ballpoints. I mean, stuff like that I find to be very like she gave it to me because she knew I like pens,
Yeah.
and she handed that over, and I thought it was really sweet. So
Very
yeah.
sweet. That's wonderful. Lumpy is a cockapoo, half Cocker Spaniel, half Poodle. He's much more Cocker Spaniel. My last two were also cockapoos, but they looked more like poodles. He's much more Cocker, and he's, I think, pretty much full size. He's just turned 9 months.
He's so
Um,
cute.
yeah. All right, so we're gonna wrap things up, but I want to end with maybe some of our pen rituals. So I'm curious, Vanessa, like in a day, you said that you're not as much of a journaler or a planner. So
Hmm.
how do you use your pens on a daily basis? Like what is your ritual, or is there anything that you do daily, or is it all spontaneous? Like what do you think is how you use your pens every day?
I use my pens to log in my work. I do keep a log of my hours. So I have, I write down the hours that I work and what I worked on. And that's it. And then to the side, like while I'm working, I take a break here and there and I jot down, like stuff I need to do, and have it here where I can see it. That or I just stop and just start doodling with pens for a moment to get to take a mental break from what I'm working on. And then I'll just come over here and just start writing, whatever, like do a doodle or, write down a word or someone's name that I'm thinking about or something like that. So
Yeah, it's just kind of
not really a ritual, I guess. I just play
but
with my
just like, well, I
pens.
guess how you use it every day. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
yeah, just repetitive, like what keeps you reaching for your pens every day, I guess, would probably have
Yeah.
been a better question. And I feel like you're very artistic, so I can see why doodling is like part of your everyday
Yeah.
use.
I just doodle. What about you?
Well, I as far as doodling goes, I laugh at myself how frequently I will just take a pen and write, Goulet pen exclusive, Benuni Victoria, like I'm gonna lose it or something. Like I will just write down like the name of the pen and the ink that's in the pen and the medium nib or whatever. Like just
Uh,
that's my mindless stuff. Like I'll just pick up a pen and if I want to write with it, I'll write what it is and what ink's inside of it. Because then I have so many doodles that when I go back to my notebooks, if I just write with the pen, I'll be like, "Oh, that's really pretty. I wonder what color that was." Was that ancient copper or was it this? So I always like write it down. So that's kind of like my when I'm bored, the thing I do. I think I've
yeah.
morning pages is definitely a ritual for me, right? Every single morning. I've cut back from like 3 A5 pages a morning because that's what they recommend you do in the book about morning pages and Artist's Way.
I think
To
I have that book.
I got it too, and I'm done. I want to read it, but I've watched some videos about it, and they say that you really have to commit. Like you're supposed to go like on a date with yourself once a week, like to do like an art date where you just like
Yeah.
so I need to carve out the time to do that. And also you're supposed to really write like it's about 45 minutes a morning. And I I don't
Yeah.
get up early enough to do that or commit to that. So I
Right.
haven't
I
gone
don't know
down
about
that path.
see, I don't know if I could date myself though. I don't know if I would be fun to be with. You know what I'm saying?
If
Like
you what? Oh, to date yourself.
to date myself. I mean, that would be kind of weird,
Go
right?
on a date
Like,
with yourself. I think
do I
that'd be
take myself
fun.
out to dinner?
Yeah, like, people will like, "Oh, well," I'd watch a video and they say, "Well, I went to a park and I brought, like, a sketchbook and sat on a blanket and drew the water," and I'm like, "Okay, that's nice." But, like, in theory, I'm like, "Am I really gonna do that?" Maybe once
Yeah.
a year, not once a week. Um, oh, let's see. I had that book back in the '80s and loved doing the morning pages. Now I do evening pages before bed. Oh, I like
That's
that, Sherry.
cool.
So
Yeah.
I kind of say that my morning pages are kind of like what's on my mind and just kind of get stuff
Mhm.
to kind of clear my mind for the day. So, sometimes it will turn into a to-do list. Like, it will start out like what my thoughts are, what I did the night before, and then by the end, I'm like getting stressed. Not stressed, but I'm thinking of all the things I have to do, and it turns into a to-do list.
Yeah.
And in my Hobonichi daily pages, at the end of the day, that's when I write kind of a reflection. And so that's like my morning pages are the day ahead, and then reflections at night, and that's really the only thing that I really stick to. I'm not the best about filling in, like, my weekly stuff on my Hobonichi,
Yeah.
making it all look pretty. I do a lot of back
Right.
with that stuff. Um, so I know that and then I'll just carry pens around the house with me and try to hide them from Lumpy, and occasionally I buy a lot of, like what would be a great I would love recommendations for, like, a cheap notebook, like a spiral bound notebook that I can just not
Just
worry
throwaway pages. Like,
wasting Tomoe
yeah.
River paper or any of the nice paper that I can just, like, maybe do a reel with and then, like, throw it out. I feel like I bought a notebook, like, at Michael's, like, art supply that was the feathering wasn't bad on it, but it wasn't, like, super fountain pen friendly, and I've gotten
Mhm.
some notebooks actually at the dollar store, but that people I had seen on the internet talk about, and they've held up okay, but I'm curious, like, what's just, like, a good run-of-the-mill notebook that's fountain pen
What's
friendly?
I use Rhodia paper for that because
You do?
it's one of the more inexpensive papers, I suppose. Oh,
Sure. What is
Monica wrote. What did she say?
I
I
go
go to
to
the river to journal. The
oh,
water calms me.
yeah, I can see that. That's really nice. Walmart Pen and Gear.
Oh, you know what? I've heard of that
I've
too.
heard about that. Oh,
So
this
yeah,
is a
then you
great
could do
one
that.
for people to see. Okay, I'm gonna go online
Yeah.
and see about that because I would love to have something. And also, I do have the Rhodia notebooks, but then when I'm, like, trying to do a reel, if I don't have the spiral, like, the bend in the page, I don't know. I have not found my rhythm with reels.
Yeah,
I
you
think
just gotta.
I
You
mix
should
things
just
up
play
all
with it. Make your worst possible reel and post it.
and then it
And
will all
then
be good from there.
that's exactly. You do the very bottom worst that you could do, and then the next step is to go up. You
Everyone will be
can't
like,
make it
"Wow,
any
that's
worse than
so much
that.
better."
There you go.
Ah, that's a great one. All right, everybody. Well, that was really fun. This is a fun way for me to unwind after, like, work all day. I feel like I can talk about pens forever, so it's really nice to be in the company of people who also enjoy talking about pens.
I like the spontaneity of the whole thing, the
Of the
spontaneous nature.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, we should. I mean, we should probably have like stuff set out that we should talk about, but I don't know. I guess people, you guys could always let us know what you prefer. It's a very young show, so
Yes. Well, I mean, I do like our beginning because I always find all the shows that I watch, whether it's like, Pen Check with Goulet or I guess maybe
mhm.
no, not Goulet with Yost.
Applebum, yeah.
Yeah, I always enjoy the pen check. So we've kind of added our own little spin to that with our handbook and our planner. We could kill a lot of time just with that in the beginning, but I
Right,
enjoy that. So we'll always have that. I knew today we were going to probably talk about our purchases for Fountain Pen
right,
Day.
right.
One of the things that I would love to include on this show is maybe like a deal of the week or an item of the week. Like
That's
I was thinking of your Toyo box actually for this week.
that's a great idea because
Like,
I'm
is
always
is
looking
there a
for a part.
sale on one of the websites or a product that we just got in that is exciting to us that's, like, not so expensive? And I
Yeah.
was thinking of your Toyo box because that when I saw that on your Inkvent calendar, um, I had watched a couple videos prior to seeing your red one, and then I'm like, That's a great idea," but I didn't wanna just buy it to buy it, so I wanted to look and see size specs, and for me, I
Mhm.
have a drawer full of ink, and I think that was just perfect for the Inkvent calendar, so there's a purpose for
Yeah,
me.
it is. It's like I'm probably gonna get another one to put my new ink pen in.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
yeah,
so maybe we can kind of each of us can or between the 2 of us come up with, a great deal of the week
sure.
to share with people.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Who
Yeah,
doesn't like a bargain?
we could all use more accessories. That's right.
Definitely. That's
Um,
right.
oh, this is nice. Aw, that's
That's
great.
what, yeah, we're just hanging
That's the
out.
idea.
Hanging
Yeah.
out. So that's, yeah. This is how I am in person too. You know, if you want to, it's just like hanging out. I mean, Claire can attest to that. Lori can attest to that.
Super easygoing. It
It's
was
just that's
wonderful.
yeah,
Yes, at the pen show. And maybe,
just hanging out.
one of these days I would love to plan a pen meetup. I haven't really gotten my act together to do that, but maybe like a Boston area. One of the other things that I definitely wanna do, as far as my channel goes, is I like to visit the different pen shops. Like, I visited Yoseka, and I visited the Fountain Pen Hospital, some stores in Japan. We're going to New York next week, and I'm debating on whether to go back to Yoseka or go to the Lamy flagship store, in New York City. I'm not, like, as much of a Lamy person.
I'm not either. That's why I'm like,
I feel like it would just feel a little sterile, like, where Yoseka is just a whole experience, like, they have, like, all
yeah.
the pens
I would
out.
go back to Yoseka. I think that would be a lot more fun than sterile Lamy
Yeah.
store.
I mean, I like my Lamy Safari, but yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I can explore more, and Yoseka just did a collaboration with Traveler's Notebooks, and they have their own insert, and it's so beautiful, the app
Oh,
design, and I think they're definitely sold out online, but I think they have some in store, so I
I
was
would
thinking
love
about
to go to that
comparing to
store.
Daisy. The only problem with Yoseka is it's in Brooklyn, and we're staying downtown because Jay is
Oh,
there for
okay.
work, so I think accessibility, Lamy might be closer, but anyway, I think that's a really fun thing. Um, yes, Boston meetup, would that be so much fun? Maybe we can meet up at Downtown Crossing, and we can go to Apple Boom, or we can go to Harvard Square, and we can go to Bob Slate's. Those are our 2 stores in Boston. Um, so yeah, so yeah, Vanessa and I will definitely keep kind of curating the live so that
Yeah.
we have, topics to talk about. There's always something fun to talk about.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely DM both of us. Feel free to, message us anytime and let us know what you'd like
Yeah.
to talk about. I feel bad because we got that one question about what ink would go in the Batman pen. That was the one
Oh,
question, and I don't know the Batman pen. It's called the
uh,
Grappa? Is it one of the real fancy Batman?
yeah, yeah. Black. Let's go with black.
That's what I would think.
I mean, Batman or red. You know, if you want a color contrast.
Or you could go with
So,
buttered popcorn, right, from Ferris Wheel Press, and it would look like the Batman emblem, the gold
oh yeah,
would,
there
like,
you go.
complement the black.
Yeah,
There we go, we
so there
answered
you
that
go. Yeah, that would be great.
question. Oh, I think they have plenty of Japanese stationeries, and do they have fountain pens?
Ooh,
I'm gonna screenshot this
you
because there was
should.
somebody who did, a video on stationery stores in New York City, so they weren't all so, fountain pen based, but they did have some fountain pens, and I don't really need any fountain pens right now. Need is never the right word.
Hey, if there's anything you could always get, it's more paper
True, we
to
were just
try
talking
out.
about paper.
Yeah, so more paper, all that stuff.
Inks are always fun as well. So yeah, and I think my husband would love the neighborhood where Yoseka is located, and then there's a Michelin restaurant, that we went to the last time.
Yeah,
My friend's son goes to Pratt Institute, and he brought us to this restaurant after we went to Yoseka, and it's a little hole in the wall, Mediterranean style, so delicious. So if I can if Jake can carve out time in his schedule, then I think we could make a whole day of Brooklyn, which would be
you
really fun.
could, or you could take yourself on a date there.
I that is, and they're by the water.
There you go.
That is great. There's always Uber. All right, everybody.
That's
Thank you
right.
so much for watching. I really appreciate all the interaction. We love this as we, like, kind of fumble our way through poor audio, and we'll get there, I promise. So thank you guys all for watching. Be sure to follow Vanessa over on Instagram and on YouTube, The Pen Gangsta. Feel free to subscribe here if you want to see more from me. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when I post a video. I think my next video is going to be a November like what I'm writing with sort of a video.
Can you hear my dogs?
Huh?
Do you hear the dogs?
I hear yours now. Just
Okay.
I thought
Yeah,
it was just my own feedback, so I'm happy it's your
they
dogs.
freaked out everything. Somebody must be home.
Oh, see, the witching hour has begun, so this is a good time to say goodbye.
Such a joy.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I love oh yeah, the Yoseka YouTube channel. Definitely follow them too. They're great. Oh, thank you so much, hon. We appreciate you guys being here.
You too.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
Appreciate
we
it.
really appreciate it. Mwah. Bye, everybody. Good night.
Toodaloo.
End stream.